Welcome to Weight Gain You and Your Doctor Can't Explain. So hopefully you guys can see me on the screen. I'm having a bit of technical difficulties today, but I will definitely be able to figure this out. And I'm going to actually start by sharing my screen with the training that we're going to be doing today. And this training that we're doing today is really about figuring out, why you can't lose weight. And even when you go to the doctor, he can't figure it out why you can't lose weight. And so you're going to actually learn one of the metabolic imbalances that will actually is one of the keys to, once you figure this out, you can flip the switch to fat loss and to weight loss and be able to keep it off forever. Now, this is my third training in the Slim, Strong, and Sexy Forever program. The first training I highly recommend you go back to, and that is learning about the #1 metabolic imbalance for anyone who's 20 or more pounds overweight that really needs to pay attention to, and that's leptin resistant. So if you're 20 or more pounds overweight and you haven't figured out, haven't heard about leptin, you really need to go to the first training of this series. And then what happened was after that, the second training was all about a metabolic imbalance that I see all the time, that if we don't figure this out, again, you're holding on to your weight, and that's digestive issues. So poor digestion that leads to you not being able to lose the weight that you want, okay? So today's training is on that same trajectory where we're figuring out your metabolic imbalance. And today you're going to learn if food allergies is actually stopping you from actually flipping the switch to weight loss. And this is something that the doctors don't recognize. It's not their fault. It's just not what they kind of look for. But you're going to find out today if this is one of your missing pieces. So again, today the training is with what I do with my clients that are enrolled in the program. The program is called Slim, Strong, and Sexy Forever. And this program is designed to be your last program ever if you're someone who wants to lose weight and keep it off for life. In fact, you can lose up to 20 pounds in just 12 weeks without giving up your favorite foods and wine, so that you can live comfortably and confidently in your new slim and your strong and your sexy body forever. And so my trainings always begin with, how do you want to see yourself? Really, you want to see yourself where you want to be and be that person now. And so it's really good to hang on and anchor an image of yourself that really, who you want to be, but really be that person now. But find that image. I know for me, it's Wonder Woman. She looks amazing. She's strong. She comes from the heart. She's beautiful. And she's someone that I believe that I strive to be. Okay. A little bit about me. I am a clinical nutritionist. So if you're watching this and you have health issues like diagnosed, then you're going to want to really kind of see someone who's been in the trenches, worked with doctors to really fix this. So this is what I do. I've been doing it 21 years and I've worked with lots of mentors. And just so you know who's like in front of you right now. Results are amazing. Like I've helped tens of thousands of women and men actually lose the weight and keep it off for life. And every week you'll see on my success stories on my social media, there'll be a new one posted every week because I have quite a few. And what it'll do is inspire you to go, wait a minute, if they can do it, so can I. That's really about that. And, you've just got to find a system that works for you. This system does work, and then a coach that you feel comfortable with, and then you're off to the races. Like, why would you wait? So today we're going to continue with the training on your self-test assessment, because really there's this missing piece that you might not know about, but you'll know today to see if maybe this is what's going to really help you. And what I find is most men or women, the reason why they struggle so much to actually lose the weight and keep it off for life is they're either, sorry, I went to the wrong slide, one moment. They're always looking at the next shiny object, and they're not really diving deep into what the real problem really is. And if you don't, you will never get your result. We've got to go to the root cause. What's driving all of this? Today, you're going to learn about the food allergies, which may be driving this, but really, you've got to find out what is driving this, okay? And that's what this program is all about, because it's so customized to you and what's driving your extra weight, okay? And if you don't, you're always going to feel like a failure because you'll never get your results, and that's not really a way to live. The second reason why most women or men fail to lose the weight and keep it off for life is they start on a program and then they stop. But they don't give it enough time. or they get bored, or they don't have a coach to keep them going because they have bad habits. So then they start up again because they felt guilty, and then it goes on and on and on, yo. But actually you're getting worse because your fat cells, they multiply and they become inflamed. So for you, if you keep doing that, really, let's stop that now, because if not, it's going to take you a lot longer to fix it if you ever decide you want to. But really, with something like that, I would really take a look at that and get moving, because really it's not working, is it? But it can. The third reason why most men and women fail to lose weight and keep it off for life is they rely on self-motivation. But really, it's not that. It's motivation comes and goes. You can't just rely on that. It's not reliable. What is reliable is a system that works. So follow the system step by step and have a coach to, work you through it, or have accountability somewhere else. And actually, it's really about discipline. It's about, this is what I do and when. And so when you start to do that, then you start to get results. You don't rely on motivation. You rely on your system to work for you. Okay. So as I mentioned to you before, when I start with my clients and they enroll in the program is customized to you. It's not a cookie cutter program at all. No, it's for you, because the reason why you're holding on to your weight is because it'll probably be different than someone else who is. And so when you work with the program, it's customized to you. So today, we're going to learn to see if maybe food allergies is actually stopping you from finally flushing away the extra weight, so that you can live the life that you've been wanting, which is that whatever that looks like and feels like for you. Maybe it's being able to be more present with your spouse. Maybe it's someone who wants to be there for their kids. Maybe it's someone who wants to excel in their career. Whatever it is for you, you can have that. You've got to have the right system for that. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to go straight into my next screen. Okay, so here we go. Just one moment. Here we go. Okay, so probably on the screen, what you're going to see right now is, whoops, sorry, one sec. I'm going to stop that. One moment. Give me a second here. There. Huh, that's funny. Okay, one sec. I'm going to go to here. Takes me a second. Okay, I always figured this out. Okay, so on the screen, you're actually going to be able to test if you actually do have a food sensitivity or allergy, because we really need to identify if this is your missing piece. Okay, so what I want you to do is get your pen and your paper right now. And then I'm going to walk you through one sign or symptom at a time. And I'm going to ask you if you have this sign or symptom. If you do, then you would mark a 1 beside it for sometimes I have it or it's mild, a 2 beside it if it's often or moderate, and a 3 beside it if it's very often or very severe. Okay, so it's a 1, 2, or 3. If you don't have it at all, just leave it blank. No worries at all. At the end of this questionnaire, we're going to tally up the score, and we're going to see if you pass the threshold. So if you're over the threshold, then we know that food allergies or food sensitivities are actually playing in a role that you haven't identified, or your doctor that's holding the weight on. Okay, and then I'm going to give you solutions so that you can lose your weight by discovering how to move past these sensitivities, so that you can drop the weight. Okay, this is super, super important. So here we go. The first sign or symptom that is linked to food allergies or food sensitivities that you're going to write a 1, 2, or 3 is you awake in the morning and you don't feel rested. The next one is an almost painful fatigue, not helped by rest. So you sleep, but you wake up and you're just extremely fatigued. You have dark or puffy circles under your eyes. You have irritable bowel, or like spasms in the bowel, a spastic colon they call it. You have high blood pressure. You have uncontrolled urination, so bedwetting. So that means nocturnal, they call it. So in the middle of the night, you wake up and you actually can't make it to the bathroom, or you're constantly going to the bathroom, like 2 or 3 times a night. If you have enlarged lymph glands, so lymph is your sewage system and it's a circulatory system, and you have these glands, these nodules, and you have some on each side of your neck. So if you touch the edges of your jawbone and you go down, those are where the lymph nodes are. So if it's enlarged, if you feel the lump, and you can feel it with your hands. Okay, so glide your hands down your neck on each side of your neck, and do you have anything enlarged? If you've been called a hypochondriac, so that means you're always thinking that you're going to get sick. If you have insomnia or sleep disturbances, so what that means is you have a really difficult time getting to sleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep. If you have heavy sweating and you haven't been in the gym or doing other fun things. So yeah, heavy sweating without exercise or doing fun things in your bedroom. If you have fluid retention, so you're hanging on to fluid, so you look puffy. Your rings don't fit anymore. Your socks cause an indent when you take them off. You look in the mirror and you look kind of like Michelin woman. You're all puffy. I see this a lot. Muscle spasms. So if you have achy muscles, or they contract and then expand again, so you're having these spasms. You don't really know why, but you're having them. It could be the middle of the night. It could be restless leg syndrome as well. If you have, this is a good one, stiff, painful joints. If you have crying spells or you have depression episodes, just out of the blue, you're just crying. It just hits you really strong. Or if you're just always depressed as well. Yeah. If you have sinus attacks, okay, so you sneeze frequently, you get plugged up in your nose, you have a scratchy throat. If you catch colds very easily, someone's around you, they have a cold, you pick it up within 24 hours. I would say 2 to 3 times a year would be too frequently. 2 or 3 times or more a year. If you've had a history of pneumonia or bronchitis, this is something really to pay attention to. So that's a respiratory system. If that's like your weak point. If you have hyperactivity, so you're just like hyper all the time, you're like spinning the wheels and it's burning you out. Your nervous system's on fire. You can't shut it off. Something's driving you in that direction, right? If you have constipation or diarrhea, what that means is 1 or more bowel movements a day is what we want. If you're not having 1 or 2 or 3 bowel movements a day and you're missing days, that means you're constipated. Or if you have diarrhea, so that means loose stools. They're runny. If you have marked fluctuations in your weight, so that means one day you're 5 pounds overweight, the other day you're like 1 pound or even underweight, but it kind of yo-yos back and forth dramatically, if you see that. If you have eczema, so a rash on the skin, maybe it's itchy, psoriasis, that's all over the body. Usually, actually, that one shows up in the elbows and the knees. Psoriasis. Sometimes on the face, I see it, on the scalp. Rashes or dermatitis, so itchy scalp. That. That's a real strong indicator of food sensitivities, food allergies, that for sure. Yeah. If you're irritable, like just out of the blue, you're just like, why am I so irritable? Why am I not like happy? Why is everything, why am I getting triggered all the time? If you have bladder infections, so that would be, something that you get reoccurring or even once in a while, you've triggered it and it's likely a food allergy, food sensitivity. If you have sneezing attacks, so you sneeze, 4 or 5 times in a row, or hay fever, definitely. If you have a dry nose and you tend to pick it, and it's like super dry. If you have a runny nose, so it's just like a hose that isn't stopped. You haven't turned the hose off. It's just running, running, running. It's like leaking. If you have puffiness in the face or you're bloated, you have bloat, stomach bloat, or puffiness in the face. If you have bronchial asthma or any asthma at all, really, so asthma. And if you get migraine headaches, that's another sign of food sensitivity. So I've just given you all the, a soft test to see if you actually do have food sensitivities that haven't been recognized. And that's something that we're recognizing now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of time for you to add up your score out of all these signs and symptoms. Just look at each one, add them up. Let's give you a few more minutes here, or 30 seconds. Maybe a little longer. Okay, so awesome sauce. Hey, if your total was 12 or more, then this is one of your missing pieces. Okay, so hooray, we discovered this, right? Let's take a step back and kind of look at what are food allergies or food sensitivities, because there is a difference. So let's dive into that right now, because really, once you figure this out, it's so easy for your weight to just fall off. And you're going to see why, because I've seen this happen time and time again, that it does fall off. And you're actually at your perfect weight by just doing this one thing. Okay, so what is a food allergy? Okay, so food allergy is a food that your body can't break down. It's that easy. Now, there is a difference between food allergy and food sensitivity. So food allergy is an actual immunological response. The body's immune system thinks that there's a foreign invader. Okay, so the immune system becomes alerted because it looks like there is an invader. And so it will mount an immune response, and it will create these antibodies thinking there's an antigen. The antigen is the invader, the antibodies your body produces, and it comes and tries to take this out, okay? And you will experience this as symptoms and signs that are quite severe, actually. And there's a reason for it. It could be genetic, but also you're going to learn more about why you truly have this. But anyways, this is the immune system that becomes activated, okay? So the sensitivity, it's not the immune system that becomes activated. It's actually your metabolic system. So what that means is the enzymes to break down the foods, you either have very little or a limited supply. So you can have a little bit of the food, but once you pass the threshold, then your body reacts with these signs and symptoms. So again, it's not the antibodies that are being produced. It's not the immune system that's overreacting. No, it's actually your enzymatic system. So that's your metabolic system. It's a different system in the body, okay? And so kind of doesn't matter, because when you just recognize what it is, then you start to eliminate it and follow the steps that I'm going to show you right now. Then your body has a chance to actually lose the weight. Okay, so we're just going to I just wanted to differentiate between food allergy, food sensitivity. They both will cause weight gain. Okay, and quite often they're hidden. You don't even know what they are, but they're the missing piece to you finally losing the weight and keeping it off for life. And it is actually one of the leading causes of all these undiagnosed symptoms that you're experiencing. It's one of the leading causes. There's actually so many books on food allergies and food sensitivities. I know I read one. It's, what is it? Food allergies making you fat, like books like this, because actually they do. But you're going to learn today how you're going to recognize it, and then so that you can start to lose the weight. Okay, is that not cool? So why does it lead to weight gain? Why is it these foods that you're eating? Why is it leading to weight gain? Because you're inflaming. It's really about inflammation. The body thinks that it is, fighting something, it's battling something. So it's always going to raise the inflammation. Anytime you do that, things in the body start to slow down. Okay. And so over time, then your body packs on the weight because you have this like chronic inflammation. And then other things start to happen, like your body really starts to feel like old because it's breaking down tissues. It's aging your body very, very quickly. So you see it as weight, but really there's a time bomb going on inside, and it's causing other things. Like one of them would be your cardiovascular system, completely tied to your blood pressure and your cardiovascular system. You don't want to mess with that because that's your ticker. And if that starts to go downhill, then you end up in the hospital and things like that, medications, all those things. So we're actually going to tackle that right now. So again, you think it's the weight, but there's other things going on that is also, harming you as well. Okay. So this is about whole body health. And this may be an eye opener for you because you may be thinking that you're following like all these healthy foods you're eating. You're not eating processed food. You may be thinking, I'm eating all these healthy foods. I'm exercising regularly, but why do I still have this extra body weight? Well, because you're eating some foods that may be healthy for one person, but not healthy for you. There's the aha moment right there. Okay, this is where healthy foods may not be healthy for you. Because really, you are unique, and that's what this program is all about. It actually customizes an eating plan and a diet that actually is customized to your body, not your neighbor's. All right, so that could be an aha moment for you right now. Okay, so we're going to look at how did I develop these food allergies, or how did I develop these food sensitivities? After I go through that, I'm going to come up with some solutions for you that you can start with right away, so that you can start to lose the weight. But really, we need to look at how did you even get here? Well, the first one is likely you may have what we call dysbiosis. So there are 4 primary causes. Okay, one of them is dysbiosis. This is the number one. What does that mean? And it means that in your digestive tract, you actually, it's home to these healthy, friendly bacteria. So they're not human cells. No, they're actually bacteria that have repopulated into your digestive tract. And they're there for a really good reason, right? So they're there to help you break down your foods. They help you make vitamins, like they help assist in B12, and folic acid. And they help convert K1 to K2 so that you can have healthy bones. And that's your immune system as well, is when we have a good variety of these healthy bacteria, they actually help to support good immune system. They also help you in so many different ways, but really we'll just keep it at that. What happens is, why you're eating foods and you're reacting to them is because you don't have enough of these healthy, good bacteria, and you've actually grown unwanted organisms, and they would be called the unfriendly bacteria, or the opportunistic bacteria, or the pathogenic bacteria. You've probably heard these terms before. So these are the ones that we don't want to have a lot of, but if you have dysbiosis, you have too many of these. and they've overtaken your digestive tract, and the ratio is not healthy for you. And so that is why you have these food sensitivities, because what happens is you eat these foods, they love the food you're eating, you're growing them, and they give off toxins. And these toxins are actually what create holes in the gut, and then your body is inflaming. It's this time bomb because of the wrong bacteria. And you got that way because you've been eating these foods for too long. You're growing these bad organisms, and this is what's happening. This whole scenario is happening. So that's hopefully an aha moment for you. So that's why it's really important to take care of this like right away before you even grow them, before you even grow more of these bacteria. Because what happens is if you do and you don't take care of this, they will actually start to grow more in number. You will have these you will be craving foods you know aren't good for you, and you're going to feed them more. They're going to grow in number, and then what they're going to do is they're going to pass on even more toxins, and then they're going to grow more, and they're going to actually attach, these organisms will attach to other organs inside your body and make them unhealthy, like fungus-like. So liver, pancreas, and now you have this systemic condition where it's even harder to get back to health again because you haven't taken care of these food sensitivities. All right. So it is far reaching. So really we need to pay attention to this right now. And just so you know, we live in a different world now. I know you know that because things have really turned around. But what I mean by that is not only are you being bombarded with these foods that are not working for you, but actually you're also double bombarded by all these chemicals in the environment. And so you've got the food sensitivities with all these chemicals in the environment that are just like a time bomb to the body. So we've got to give our body a chance to heal. And you already are set up with all these chemicals in the environment, and they are going to cause an issue. Why don't we just take care of what we can control? And that is the foods that we're putting in our body so the body can heal. Okay. And so I just want to just really just pay attention, so you can pay attention to this and actually take action today. So the other cause leading to why you have these food sensitivities or food allergies is your thyroid's underfunctioning. And so, and where's your thyroid? It's in your throat, and it is a gland that helps regulate your metabolism. And if it's under functioning, if it hasn't been diagnosed that you have underactive thyroid, you may still have underactive thyroid. It's just not diagnosed. You may not know this. And so if your thyroid is under functioning, then we know that it is in conservation mode. What that means is the thyroid has two functions. It's either in production mode, it's helping your body have great high producing days, or it's under functioning and it's in conservation because the body isn't healthy. So it wants to go in conservation. So it's waiting for the body to heal. Okay. It doesn't want you to go up and be a high performer because your body's not healthy. So it's actually doing you a favor by going in lowering. It's going in conservation. So everything in the body can then slow down so that you can figure out how to fix the body in the right way. So then it can go into production mode. Okay. So the body's doing everything it can to heal. And if your body's not well, it will do this for you. Okay. So, we don't want to blame the thyroid. We want to blame let's find out who can help me find out why my body isn't well so I can get my thyroid working again, really. And then everything can work. So when the thyroid is under functioning, then what happens is everything in the body slows down, everything. And that includes your digestion. So if your digestion is slower than normal, you can't produce these enzymes to break down the foods. That's how it works with thyroid. And so you're going to end up with these food sensitivities if you have a thyroid issue. And if you are on thyroid medication and you still have a thyroid issue, that's a problem because the thyroid is responsible for so many things in the body. And if you don't get the thyroid working properly, you can't be healthy. And so if anyone is watching this and they have been diagnosed with underactive thyroid and it's still not getting better, please get a hold of me. I'd love to help you get that up and running again so that you can, realize your potential because you're not there, but you can. Okay. And that also includes getting into that weight that you've been wanting for so long instead of always dreaming about it. It's there. You just need a system that works. And again, this is customized. And so, yeah, so it could be the thyroid. The third reason is, here's another one I see all the time. It's you're eating the same foods all the time and you're not really experimenting with other foods because you're just it's so easy for you just to eat the same breakfast, eat the same lunch, and maybe a little bit of a different dinner. But really, if we keep eating the same foods, you are guaranteed to move towards a food sensitivity. Why? Because just think about it. If you're eating the same foods all the time, your body has to release the enzymes to break down the foods, right? Well, it's overloaded because it's asking the body to release these enzymes time and time again. It's too much. It doesn't have the capability to be able to produce these enzymes all the time. And so then it doesn't. And then your body, again, it's not breaking the foods down. It leads to toxicity, which then leads to inflammation, which then leads to this overweight, right? So that's why we really need to pay attention to, I keep reminding my clients. In fact, last week, I gave them 3 foods that we need to start introducing now because it's springtime. At the time of this recording, it's springtime, and we actually need to introduce 3 new foods so that our body responds positively, and we're working with our body's natural rhythm, the environment, and then that's why you got to eat within your seasons, like the circadian rhythm, right? When your hormones are balanced and you can lose the weight. So we're going to introduce these 3 foods I mentioned to my clients last week. And then we're changing up our foods. You don't want to have the same foods all the time. You want to change it up for spring. You want to change it up for summer. You want to change it up for fall and winter. We need to change our foods because these are the foods that are grown in your environment. And the closer that you eat towards your environment, the better you're going to look and feel. And because you are human, you are from nature. It's expecting these foods. If you're not giving it, it's going to inflame because we're not doing the right things. But now you're learning what to do. Okay, so the 4th one is genetics. You actually have been born with this food allergy, okay? Just because your mom had it or your grandma had it, or it was just passed on to you. Really good examples are nut allergies, like peanut allergies or egg allergies, like shellfish allergies. I see this. And it's just because your body actually can't break it down, because it's been passed on to you, okay? But it's really important to know and honor this and just avoid that food, all right? Okay, so we've talked about, we've actually discovered to see the amount of, like if you actually have food sensitivities or allergies based on the score, then we looked at 4 causes that lead to this issue, which is the dysbiosis, that means the bad bacteria, too many bad bacteria, the underactive thyroid, the eating the same foods, and then the just genetics. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to course correct, and we're going to move into a simple solution to actually eliminate these so that you can actually eventually start to eat them again, unless it's a true allergy. But if it's a sensitivity, you can actually start to eat these foods again if you follow this strategy that I'm going to share with you right now. And it's my simple solutions to eliminating this so that you can bring it back later. Okay. So just as an overview, it's going to follow this method of we're going to clean out the offenders. So that means we're going to start by cleaning out what's driving it. Then we're going to heal the body by replacing the nutrients that it didn't have. And then we're going to seal it so that you can start to enjoy these foods again and adapt to your environment without having to hide. Okay. And like always feel that you can't have that food. Well, you can if you can do this, this method I'm going to share with you right now. Okay. So the first step is the cleaning phase. And the cleaning phase is we're going to remove the foods that is actually triggering this issue for you. So we need to identify these foods because you may not know what they are. So a really easy way to do this is to start by looking at the simple version of which are the most common food allergies that most people have, and start with that. And if you want to go even more comprehensive, I'm going to share with you what that one looks like. But here's a really good start to eliminate these common ones that I see all the time. And just start with this. So what are the 5 most common food allergies or food sensitivities that I see all the time? Remember, this is a simple version. So this is the milk products, the processed milk products. So any milk products, really. And why these are most common food sensitivities and food allergies is because it's a new food to our race. So as human beings, we've been populating this planet for 2.4 million years. And so we've been eating from the land for 2.4 million years. And then what happened was just recently, just like 10,000 years ago, which hasn't been very long, 8 to 10,000 years ago, we introduced these new foods. Our genes, our bodies, some of them have not adapted to these new foods yet. And so that's why it's still reacting, because they're new to our genes, and the genes aren't expecting it because it's not used to it. So so those would be the milk products, because remember, that's when the agricultural age came about. Before that, we were eating more ancestral, like from the land. Agriculture came 10,000 years ago. Now we started to herd cattle, which started to grow grains. Those are the new foods. So think about eliminating, and you intuitively have this feeling, you know that already. I know you know that. You know that when you have these dairy products like ice cream, you react. Yogurt, you react. Cheese, you react. Milk, you react. Well, now you may be armed with the knowledge going, every time I do this, I'm making my body even worse. So maybe what I'm going to do is actually listen to Michelle's strategy so that I can start to introduce these later once I clean my body out. Okay. Then it actually is healthier to be able to break these down, where right now it's not, because you're always triggering it. Okay. So the milk products is the number one. The second one is gluten grains. Now, gluten is more difficult to digest. It is. It's there's a number. What is it? 64 chromosomes in the gluten type grains, where there's like 34 in the non-gluten grains. So it's actually harder to break down. And for some people, they can break it down. For others, they can't. But really, gluten can be really difficult to break down. And it's not like a life sentence, you can't eat gluten again. No, we're going to eliminate it until the body heals, then we can reintroduce it later. Okay, how cool is that? So, but really in the beginning, we need to identify these gluten grains and eliminate them. So wheat is a gluten grain. Kamut is a gluten grain. Rye is a gluten grain. Triticale, I can't pronounce that, but anyways, you can see it on the screen here. Triticale, spelt and barley. Okay, so it's on the screen here, and these are the ones that are gluten grains. They are hard to digest. So those are common. So we're going to want to think about maybe eliminating those. I'll give you a strategy. I just want you to know that they're hard to digest for some people. Okay, the other one is refined sugar. So white sugar, brown sugar, raw sugar, fructose, which leads to fatty liver, by the way, sucrose, and corn syrup. So we're going to want to maybe look at our labels and not use those sugars. There's other better sweeteners. Those are not, those are hard to digest, and most people react to them. The nightshades. This is very, very common that I see that are, if you have any arthritis, we know that nightshades will be a food allergy. If you have autoimmune, we know nightshades are a food allergy or a food sensitivity. So we really want to know what they are and eliminate them, like the tomatoes, the potatoes, the peppers. Soy products is another one. Okay, those are the 5. Now, that's the simple way to know like which are the most common that maybe I can eliminate. I'll share with you for how long, but these are the ones that you're going to want to pay attention to know, oh yeah, like I have that every day. And yeah, you're right. That could be it. Okay. You could take it to the next level and do the comprehensive. So instead of the simple, I would look at perhaps the comprehensive. What that means is food groups. So we're going to, instead of just doing gluten grains, we're going to do all grains. So what that means is for a certain amount of time, and I'll share with you how much, we're going to eliminate all grains. Why? Because your digestive system needs a break. Okay, that's the reason. And grains are hard to digest because they're a new food group to our human species. And so we're going to eliminate all grains. We're also going to eliminate all legumes. So those are beans and lentils. Okay, those can be very challenging to digest for a lot of people, especially when they have these digestive issues and these food allergies that they're identifying. So we're not going to have the beans and the legumes, okay? Lentils. Dairy, we talked about that, all dairy. So that means any kind from cow or sheep or goat. Okay, that's all of them. We're going to eliminate those for a certain part of time. Pork seems to be a food that it can trigger. And so we're going to eliminate pork just for a short time, but to allow the body to rest, clean, heal, and seal, right? So we're going to give the body a rest. We're going to eliminate pork. Beef would be another. Shellfish is another, like fish and seafood. And actually shellfish. You can have the fish, but just not the shellfish. That means anything in a shell. So prawns would be one, oysters. But you can have the fish like wild salmon, for example, or sardines, or tilapia. Yeah. We're going to eliminate fruit juice. And everyone should be eliminating fruit juice anyways if they want to lose weight. Oranges are very common food allergy. Or nuts or seeds that are not soaked. Those will they will trigger. So we want to make sure they're either soaked. You can have them when they're soaked. But just if they're unsoaked, I would not put those in my diet. Soybean products, corn, and creamed vegetables. So in a can, the creamed ones would be a no, because we know they're going to have likely dairy, right? So those are the ones that you're going to want to eliminate, those food groups. And things to watch for, there's a list here of them. And if anyone here is watching this and they're still paying attention, because I know I've been talking for 45 minutes, I'm happy to share this with you, okay? A few things to think about and watch for that you would normally not see that you really should pay attention to. Now that we've identified, am I going to do the simple version? You've got to decide. Or am I going to do like the comprehensive one? So you can decide, do you want to, either one, you're moving in the right direction. It's okay. And so you can choose which list you want to go with. And then when you do, what you're going to do is if you decide that you just want to test it over 10 days, this is the simple way. You can test it over 10 days. So that means you're going to eliminate those foods for 10 days. And you can eliminate as many foods on that list as you like, or just one that you actually think that you have a sensitivity to. But really, the golden number is 10 days. So you're going to eliminate a food or a food group for 10 days. So if, say, for example, you're going to test wheat and you're going to see if you're actually allergic to wheat or you have a sensitivity to wheat, then what you're going to do is you're going to eliminate wheat for 10 days. What I want you to do is just pay attention to reading your ingredients, because wheat can be in so many things. And so you really want to give yourself a fighting chance to see if really it is wheat. So just really look at the ingredients if it does have wheat. If it does, just eliminate that and keep a pen and paper, because you're going to be taking notes while you're eliminating it. And this is what I'm going to share with you right now. So this is called the Elimination Test. And I'm sure you've heard of this test before, but now you're actually going to learn how to do it. So pick your food or food group. You're going to eliminate it for 10 days and read your ingredients, okay? And then what happens is when you decide that you want to wait, so after 10 days, you're ready to reintroduce one of the foods. Okay, so pick one food, not all the foods that you've eliminated. Just pick one food to bring back. Not all of them, no, because you're going to test now. Okay, you're going to test. So after 10 days, you're going to pick out one food that you've eliminated, and you're going to have that tiny bit of food 3 times a day for 3 days. A little bit of that food 3 times a day for 3 days. And so if you're going to say, let's go back to wheat, if you're going to choose wheat and you're going to reintroduce it 3 times a day for 3 days to see if you have a reaction to it, don't have wheat cereal, because wheat cereal is going to have a laundry list of all these other ingredients. Just pick a little bit of wheat, a little bit of water, and a little bit of salt, just that. And have a little bit of that 3 times a day for 3 days. Now, when you do, you're going to have your notebook handy, because what happens is if your symptoms come back, you know that that is likely a food sensitivity. And so your gut hasn't healed enough, and you're going to test later once your gut heals. But it is a sure sign that, you know what, see, it is a food sensitivity. That was one. Okay, because what happens is once you clear that food from your body for 10 days, it's now going to overreact if you did have a sensitivity. Whereas before, you wouldn't really notice it. because you kind of always felt that way. Well, no, you've actually cleaned it out of the body, and now you're reintroducing it, and the body like overreacts, saying, no, that is, I told you before, that is a food I'm not ready for right now, right? So it's like super eye-opening. It's so fun to do. So get your notepad and pen and keep notes, because you're going to see if your symptoms come back, right? And you're going to be you're going to do it 3 times a day for 3 days. Now, so the kind of reactions you'd be looking for is like the common ones is instant diarrhea pants. So you have explosive diarrhea. That would be a sure sign that you're not ready for that food, right? Or if things come up on your skin like hives or welts, skin rashes, you start to get itchy. Itchy is a big one for wheat, by the way. If your skin gets itchy, if you have that joint pain come back, if you get an instant headache, if you get bloated, you feel nauseous or dizzy, like something out of the ordinary, then that is not the right food for you. And when does the reaction take place? Well, it could be as quick as 10 minutes or instant, up to 12 to 48 hours. Okay. So that's why when you do this that's why you're doing this for 3 days. Okay. And so it's good to wait to see, how is my body responding? Because it can be delayed. It can be a delayed sensitivity to up to 48 hours. Okay. And so on your notebook, you're actually going to write okay to have after you've done this, or eliminate. So you've done the test 3 days for 3 times a day for 3 days. That doesn't take very long. And then you're going to make a note. Yeah, no, that one's okay to have. I'm fine. Or no, this one I'm going to eliminate right now. Okay. You keep it cut and dry. All right. It's in your notebook. You can refer to it later. And so, yeah, so you're going to pick one food group at a time. And that's how you're going to do the elimination diet. How easy is that? Super, super cool. And you'll notice that when you do identify it, your weight will start to melt away, right? The extra weight, the puffiness, the joint pain, the headaches, the migraine headaches, the brain fog, all those things that go away because you're not inflaming the body. Is that not amazing? So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is, this is my recommended way. Instead of waiting 10 days before, like eliminating it for just 10 days, I would actually eliminate it for 30 days. I would definitely eliminate that food group for 30 days. I would. Because these are the foods that can actually be driving your extra weight. And dairy, grains, beans and legumes, the sugars, the soy, those are common weight gainers. And so when you eliminate them all, you're giving yourself a fighting chance, right? So, I mean, go all hog if you can. I would. And give yourself 30 days. At the very least, instead of 10 days, 2 to 3 weeks. But maybe, 30 days, 2 to 3 weeks. You decide. It's your body, your choice. So I would do 30 days, but you're going to decide what you want to do. And now what you've done is you've actually done a really good cleanse just by eliminating foods your body can't digest. Is that not amazing? You're eating foods you can digest instead of can't digest. Now your body has a chance to heal and the thyroid goes up. The thyroid goes in production mode. And if it's still stuck, get a hold of me. We can unstuck it. I've got some drops that can do that. It can flip the switch and get that back in production mode. Okay. So that's just food for thought. All right. You're going to want to look at your labels as well. That's another important piece. And I do want to share that I have done this program with so many clients. And what they find is when they actually do this, like right away, oh my gosh, I have energy now. Oh my gosh, my brain is better. Oh my gosh, I don't have that joint pain anymore. All the time, like all the time. So this works, just so you know. And you know what? Give it a try. There's no side effects. So the other missing piece here is, if you're overreacting to these foods, you're toxic, and the body is overwhelmed with toxicity because it's accumulated over time. And that's why the plan that I provide for my clients, not only does it have the diet piece, which is the one I just talked about, it actually has the detox piece. And you'll see in my success stories that my clients that go on the Undodrops, these are drops that you take, they actually clear away the toxins. So the body has a chance to heal. But they're like your SWAT team, I call them. They come in and clean house for you. So that the plan works so much easier then, because they're helping you clean out the body so that you can reset your body. You can regenerate and you can rebuild your body so it's healthy again, okay? But really, you've got to think about getting rid of these toxins, and not just like a 7-day cleanse. That's not going to do anything. No, you need real, like your SWAT team. All right. And when you're detoxing the body with these drops, you actually feel better when you're on them than when you're not. And this is reported time and time again. Why? Because they're assisting your body in getting rid of the toxins for you. Okay. And you should feel better. If you don't feel better, then you're on the wrong detox because you should feel better. The third piece of the puzzle here, we talked about diet, we talked about detox and these drops that you can take. They're called Undis. Then we talk about these supplements. So here's the thing you want to pay attention to. These are the few supplements that are highly recommended if you have these food sensitivities to help you recover quicker, faster, and lose the weight. The first one is you need a digestive enzyme. You need a digestive enzyme that has the right ingredients in there. Sorry about that noise. I'll wait till it goes. It's an airplane. So yeah, you're going to want to do a digestive enzyme. Not any digestive enzyme. No, lots don't work. You need one that has all the right components to it. Hydrochloric acid, enzymes, bile, and a few other goodies. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I know the exact one that actually I take myself personally, and my clients do as well, and it works like gangbusters so that you get results quicker, faster, okay? And the other one is a probiotic, not any probiotic. Oh my goodness, this is the mistake most people make, is they just grab any supplement. No, there's a big difference with quality and how to take them. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're frustrated. No, we want to take the right one. And the right one needs to be human microflora, not from animal strain, human strain. You are human. You need a human strain probiotic, one that is properly has been tested in clinical studies to actually have an effect, okay? Otherwise, you're wasting your time and your money. And so this is the one I recommend, HMF Intensive. And if anyone here is interested in learning how to take it and how long to take it, that's also key. Get a hold of me. I'm happy to share that. Well, that was a big one. I'm going to stop this share and go back into just finishing up this training session. I really hope that it's really been eye-opening for you, because really when you find your missing piece and you follow the directions, everything works. And so what I'm attempting to show you exactly how I help my clients lose up to 20 pounds within 12 weeks. Actually, I've had David, he's going to be sharing something. He's 43 pounds in just 18 weeks. Okay. So others have dropped way more weight than that. Everyone's different, but the program works so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to sharing a different part of my training. Just give me a second here, please. Okay. Here we go. So you have learned a lot. And I do want you to know that you can go from, frustrated, being overweight, being tired, waking up with no energy, showing up the way that you are better than that, maybe, not showing up well enough with your kids, you feel bad, your husband, your work, you're not being productive, like all these things. Like, it doesn't have to be that way, all right? You can look at yourself in the mirror and behave in a way that you are proud of. It is all about the systematic approach. It's all about a customized systematic approach. This is a systematic approach. There's only 9 steps. The 9 steps work one at a time. Right now, you're understanding one of the key pieces, which is food allergies. This is part of the assessment. This is part of when working with me, I can customize your eating plan because I can clearly see that you have these sensitivities. And so from there, we design a meal plan that doesn't include those, so you can have foods that you do like that doesn't include those, so you don't feel like you're depriving or starving. No. So that's why this plan works so well. And I want you to know that I put thousands and thousands of people through this plan, and it does fire up fat loss. It does make you feel sexy. You get the tone back, and you reach your ideal weight faster than you ever thought possible. In fact, this would be the last plan you'll ever have to go on, because it fixes it from a root cause level. Now, if this is calling for you and you're thinking, man, you know what? It's been 10 years, it's been 15 years, it's been 5 years, it's been 2 years, and I'm still not getting my results. Okay, well, how is your life going to look like if you continue that and you still don't get results? Where are you going to be at in 5 years? Where are you going to be at in 30 days? Where are you going to be at? You know, what's your future self look like if you don't do anything? And then if you do, and you go, you know what, I'm going to take my first step and I'm going to just book a call with Michelle because I'm actually ready to do this and commit to myself. Because I know Michelle has helped thousands of people. Of course I have. 100% confident I can help you. So all it does is just for you to comment below with I'm ready and send me a direct message. And you know what? I'd love to hear more about you. And I'd love to get you to where you want to go if you're ready. And, you know, if you're somebody who I see all the time gives to everybody else but not yourself, how is that going to play out later down the road? Like, think about it. How is that going to go? You know, like, don't you think you deserve it? Why do you think you should give to everybody else and not yourself? That's a lesson right there. And I had that lesson and I moved past it. That's why you hire someone who's done the work, who's worked with others. So anyways, all I'm saying is, if this really feels right and you want to learn more about my program, then just send me a message. We can have a conversation and we can start with just this quick little strategy call where I can get to know you better and see if you're a fit for the program and it fits you as well. Okay. So I want to thank you so much for joining. And that was a long one, but really, I just want to help. And I'm just going to see if you're actually looking at me on the screen right now, because I'm learning this new platform myself. Like, I'm learning new things too. And it looks like I am on there. Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. This is working. I can't see myself, but I know you can see me. Anyways, I just want to thank you so much for joining me this week for this live training. Next week, we're going to dive into another metabolic imbalance that I see all the time that is so, so common. But really, just, you know, this will work if you take action. And if you need more information, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment below. I'd love to help you out. Because really, if you have a question, just ask Michelle. This is what I'm here for, and I love to help. So I want you to have a great day, and this will be in the resource guide so that you can look at it as a replay as well. And I'll see you next week. Okay, hopefully hear from you soon. Okay, see you later.